Hello, Gunpla fans. It's Speedball Haro, and today for you guys, I got for you the Gundam Base and Gundam Factory exclusive version 1 and version 2 Haroplas. These little guys are, of course, fan favorites, fun, and always in many colors, enjoyable to build. And of course, I had to build both. And that is because these are, of course, based on the version 1 Haropla and the version 2 Haropla. For those who don't know what I'm talking about the version 1 being pretty much the mini Robo Haro model that's simple and has that little inner frame set up for the full shell of the body and such, whereas the version 2 was designed to be the more technical version of Haro's, aka the gimmick laptop function that a Haro does have, which is pretty cool that Bandai was able to actually produce it into a kit form, which is pretty cool. And yes, yeah, they're pretty awesome gimmick that they have. And though, of course, if you're wondering, yes, the version 2 does still have the arm gimmick, just like the first one. The only difference is that it has a new articulated point through the middle of the body, so to speak. And of course, this one, as you can tell right here, has these ports on the side here, which normally, as you can see with the standard version, doesn't. If I am not mistaken, I believe this version, or at least the versions of the computer variant, were all based from the Hello Kitty version, at least, or at least one of those versions of the computer. I believe Hello Kitty, because I think that was one of the first ones. It's been a while, but if not, yeah, that's why why this one has these ports. I believe that's originally where the ears would have came on for the Hello Kitty version. But in this one's case, you get two peg covers that you put in there if you want. I just chose not to because they sort of stick out like little bumps, so I just figured to leave it as it is. Pretty cool. And as you can see real quick, if I can get it to open its mouth, there you go. There's the computer, see keyboard and all on screen. Though I wish they'd given us like not a well, maybe a decal or something you could have put over the screen here, just so you could actually tell where the screen's at. I mean, you could see it outlined here, but it's just it's so smooth with the plastic and such that it more or less blends in if you don't really look. I mean, I'll try to get it on the camera, guys, for you. See right about there where how the light's reflecting, you see like a rectangle. That would be the screen for the computer. But yeah, other than that, you can bend the head down like that to give it a uh, I guess you'd give it like a lockjaw look. But it is cool because now the Haro can actually open up and, as you can see, eat you. Yeah, that's a pretty cool gimmick. I love it. It's fun, it's playable, and just so many fun gimmicks you could probably work with. I've seen plenty of customs that can do that, so why not? So yeah, there's that. He still, of course, can pop up the ears on this one, just like any normal Haropla. Easy. Still has pretty well, they're not identical to the original ports, but they're pretty much very close. I say not identical because one second. If we look at the original version here, the port covers they have for the arms and such and are detailing. They're just like flat on the inside. I'm hoping I can get it into camera so you can see it, guys. Yeah, right there. It's all smooth in there, whereas the version 2, or at least the one I'm looking at, let's see. They seem to have added extra detailing in there. I'm not entirely sure for what, but it's always cool to have extra details. It's always cool. So yeah, and as we're looking at this, it's just standard Haropla for the version 1. The only difference between the two versions is that the version 2 does not have the side ports here that this version has, unfortunately, because those hit extra pegs that you can attach other stuff to. For me, I used to make my custom Haro right here for the arms. So yeah, that was good use for that. But other than that, guys, it still uses the same other ports for the head. But the one gimmick I liked, now let me make sure I'm right. Yeah, it's not this one, but the version 2 I do like about the ports covers that it has is that this version here has one that you hopefully should be able to see right there with the arrow. Instead of trying to pull it out like you have to do with the original version, you push up on the this little arrow right here, and the cover actually pushes up, so you can just pop it out with no problem. So it's a lot easier to pull out than the original versions. It's so much, definitely a lot easier actually. Now, as you guys can see, we of course have the two colors of these versions. We have the Gbase blue for this one and the Gundam Factory blue and white. Now, the blue is pretty much almost identical to each other. One's a little darker than the other, but then again, this one has bright yellow eyes, whereas this one has black eyes. So yeah, I mean, it's still pretty cool color variants. I like it. Though this one reminds me, if you guys have ever seen Gundam Seed, I think it was in, or Destiny, it's one of the two, where we had the mustache Haro. That's what this version reminds me of. Honestly, if we had a decal that just give us the mustache, that would be perfect for this. It'd be funny but cool as well. All right. Now, other than that, guys, you of course get the standard puzzle stands like any other one of the mini kits we got. And yes, just like every one, let me move these out of the way. You of course will get all the Haro connecting parts together for the limbs, such like that. And if you give me one quick second, guys, I will show you what they look like completely all limbed out, I guess you could say. And there you guys go. That's them. That's our little guys and their robo modes. Now, really, there's not much difference between articulation or anything. One difference, though, that they did do between the version 1 to version 2 is that the version 2 does not utilize any polycaps to where the version 1 did. So, yeah, that was an interesting surprise there. And I noticed on the version 2 here, the hands, you might not see it right away, but once you do, you'll notice that the version 2 have these like clamps on the hands now. I'm not 100% what they're for, though. If I had to take a decent guess, they're probably to like holding something like that and things like to help hold something. I mean, it doesn't come with any accessories to hold things with, but I'm assuming that's what it's for. Only reason I said it because the actual manual doesn't show me. That'd just be my best educated guess. Because as you can see, oh, thank you. With the version 1 here, he doesn't have those. He just has the simple, smooth fingers. That's it. But articulation is the same. You know, you can do that all the way around. Same with the legs. You can move the feet so far up, and so forth. And the same with the version 2. Yeah, there's nothing major different there, guys. So yeah, that's really about it. Now, lastly, of course, we will do a little comparison with, let's first look at a change Haro, as you guys might have seen earlier this last year when I did. They're about the same height, just, so many inches off. But yeah, they look cool together if you're a big Haro collector. There's that. And of course, my little TriStar Haro. Fun little guy because this one's clear, so you can actually see the inner framing in this one. So you guys get the idea of how the version 1 looks. So yeah. That's pretty it. That's it. So yeah, do I recommend both, either, etc.? Yeah, totally. If you're looking for a fun little guy to build, or if you know someone that's wanting to start off something simple, yeah, they're fun. And either version, it's easy to handle. So yeah, I could recommend both with no problem. And the color versions of these two are definitely cool. You definitely gotta like blue Haros. They're always cool. I just like that color. It's pretty cool. And the blue and white mix here is interesting because outside of the factory line, I do not believe there are any other versions of that color for Gbase or retail. So yeah, if you want this version, you would have to get it from the Gundam factory and only. Sorry, guys. But yeah, that's it, guys. So I thank you all for coming. I hope you're enjoying your hobby, and I of course will see you later on.